A few years ago, I was working with one of my clients, and we were doing a life ingredient list, a life recipe, best life recipe. And in this best life recipe, which is what I call it, we take a stock of the ingredients that we have to work with, just like you would for any kind of recipe that you're doing in the kitchen. And part of this intake is finding out what's important to the person that I'm working with. And one of the things that he said was he was going through a breakup, and uh, he was having a hard time with it. So as we go through this, one of the things that he said that was important to him was uh, he wanted to be a good person, and I knew we were about to step into a trap there. And so I asked him, uh, a good person according to whom? And for a moment, he's a smart guy, and so for a moment he thought, well, a good person according to me. And that is what gave us the insight for him to build a life that he now enjoys, where he is married to the love of his life, has a beautiful son, they live in Hawaii, and everything in his life is going awesome. Uh, I don't want to paint the picture as if I was the one responsible for that. These are just things that happened after we worked together. Um, However, the thing that is important in this story is this whole idea of being good and the trap that it is. Because oftentimes when we set out to be good, what that really means is we want to be good according to other people. What it really means is we want other people to think that we are good. And let me tell you, that is a trap. Because the funny thing is, while one person will think what you're doing is good, another person will think that what you're doing isn't good. And so these kind of external validations, these external types of measurements are very dangerous for us, both psychologically and emotionally, because they get us off center. And if there's one thing that we are here to do on this earth, that one thing is to be ourselves. And it may take a long time. I think it was Miles Davis, actually, who said, sometimes it takes a long time to be yourself. But that is our job here. Our job is to be ourselves, and that means making the things that we want to see in this world come true. In order to do that, we have to go beyond the veneer and the cover of what other people think is good, what other people would approve of. We have to do the very, very difficult work sometimes of overcoming the need for other people's approval and recognize that the only person that can deem us good is ourselves. And when we scratch below that veneer, that surface, and take a look, what we really find out is what we mean by wanting to be good is we want to be fully ourselves, which sometimes means looking bad to some people. But if we have those life ingredients put together in a recipe that is uh, a delicious one for us, then other people's opinions and other people's criticisms are they have no sting. You know, you cannot hurt the person who does not need your approval. And so for you there, whether you're a man or a woman, wherever you are in your life, let me assure you that skill, the greatest skill, the most valuable skill, the skill that will have the greatest impact on your well-being and on your success in life is being free from the addiction of other people's approval. And the way that you do it is by getting very clear about what is important to you. The challenge is that most of this most of our society and the way that things are set up in this world are not uh, in your favor. Most of things that happen in society and in this world are intentionally, deliberately, and aggressively created to make you into what everybody else wants you to be. And if there's a definition of a wasted life, a life of regret, it would be realizing at the end of our lives that we were pulled around by a hook in our mouth, and that hook being the hook of other people's approval. Undoubtedly, the person that I think the proper term is the sovereign individual. That's a great book, by the way. The sovereign individual, the man or the woman who does not need another person's approval, the man or woman who does not need uh, the acceptance or the validation from another person, that person will face criticism. But you know what? So will the person who's seeking approval. But the person who is sovereign and free from the need of approval, that criticism will not bother them. In fact, that criticism doesn't even reach up to the point of their head. It's trampled under their feet because they are too far above it. For you, if living a life that you are proud of is important to you, then consider which areas you are seeking approval in, and take a look for yourself. You don't have to believe what I'm telling you. You can measure it for yourself and see, does this make me more myself, or does this make me more afraid? When I need somebody else's approval, when I need someone else's validation, when I need somebody else's, when I need somebody else to like me, does that make me feel stronger? Does that make me feel more myself? Does that make me radiate more life? Does that make me feel more alive? Or does it make me feel like I want to hide in a corner until somebody else tells me it's okay to come out and play? You are the light of the world. You are the only one who can shine your unique and gifted light into this world. And that is the only way to experience the joy of living. So shake off that need for approval, shake off that need for validation, shake off that addiction to other people giving you a thumbs up, and go off into the dark, into the wilderness, into the forest of loneliness and self acceptance. And when you come through on the other side, be amazed at the strength, at the courage, and at the way that you love yourself more than you ever thought possible. Not acting like you love yourself. No. Not telling yourself that you love yourself, but feeling that peculiar feeling. It's kind of like this. You've been in love before, probably. And if you've ever been in love and you've introduced the person that you love to your friends, they probably could see all of the things about your partner that were annoying or unattractive. But don't you remember that when you were in love with that person, even those things that other people found annoying were so endearing to you? That's the way for you. That is the way for you. Only when we achieve this level of self-acceptance, that that love doesn't pass as a phase of the moon, but endures and only grows stronger. And those things that other people think of as annoying or weaknesses are only greatest strengths. So, hope that this is helpful to you in some way to enjoy the best life that you can while you are here.